And thank you for joining us for the Realtor Safety Top 10 Ways to Keep You and Your Clients Safe at Open Houses webinar, led by our good friend Andrew Wooten. We realize you face more on-the-job risks than most professions and have teamed up with safety expert Andrew to go ahead and bring you this free webinar. If you have any questions, please send them along by clicking on the question button, and we'll answer them either during the webinar or at the end. If you can think of any questions after the webinar, you can also email us at safety@realtors.org. Again, that's safety@realtors.org. Also, be sure to visit our website, www.realtor.org/safety, to find out more about our next webinar in September, and also to get some resources on how to stay safe. Please introduce Andrew Wooten, and for those of you who do not know Andrew, Andrew has been teaching safety in the real estate industry for the past 27 years. He's authored 2 books, A Safety Guide for Open Houses, Listing Appointments, and Vacant Properties, and A Real Estate Guide to Safety. He teaches nationally at associations and corporations, instructing on how to live, work, and play safely. Well, without further ado, Andrew, please take it away.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor and a pleasure to be able to present to you guys today. My goal today is really simple, but it does require some assistance from you. What I would like for everyone to do today is to be able to walk away from this webinar with a personal game plan on how to do your job more safely. Now, I'm aware that one shoe does not fit all. So what I'm going to ask you to do, what I would really love for you to do, is to ask questions. Is to ask the question, why? Why do I recommend this versus that? You know, we all work within a variety of communities, cultures, and social economics. In the morning, you can be working in a gated community. And that afternoon, you can be working in a rural community. So I hope you will take me to heart and ask the question, Andrew, what do I do in this environment? How do I handle this situation? I hope today that you will be able to use your greatest weapon, which is your mind, your voice, and your body. I want you to trust yourself and listen to your inner voice. With that being said, let's get started. Let's have an honest conversation about open houses. You know, whenever I mention open houses, the room gets quiet. The air just gets sucked out. The room gets immediately divided. Half the people say, Andrew, I do not like doing open houses at all. The other half goes, man, I love them. I really enjoy it. Now, I'm not here to debate whether, you should or shouldn't do an open house, but I can tell you this. By the time we finish this webinar, you will be able to do an open house and be able to do it more confidently and definitely more safely. You know, when we look at today, everybody's wearing a different hat. We all have multiple hats. And there seems to be more and more added to our schedule and less day to get it done. So what ends up happening? Something ends up taking a back seat. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, it's safety. You know, we've all read the news reports. We've all heard the stories of all the different things that have happened in the past 6 months in the real estate industry, all the crimes that have increased. Folks, today, it's all about you. And what we want you to do is to learn how to do your jobs just a little bit more safely. When we take a look at what we do now, let's just be honest about it. Tuesday morning, your broker says, Andrew, I have a house I want you to show. So what happens? Life takes place. On Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you had the best of intentions. You truly wanted to go by that house, scout the neighborhood, check out the house, do a walkthrough, but it just doesn't seem like there's enough hours in the day. So what ends up happening? We end up running by the grocery store the day of the open house, picking up some snacks and balloons, and then we run to the house, we pull out our signs, we pull out our balloons, and we wait. Isn't this what we currently do now? Well, folks, here's the goal of the day. I want to share with you quick 10 tips that you can do the day of the open house to keep yourself and your clients safe. Let's go back to looking at number 1. Where do we park? Now, when we look at this picture, we can tell this is an obvious no-no. But isn't this reality? Aren't we rushing? We always say, I'll move the car a little bit later on. I just want to get my signs and get my things out. I want to get all my stuff in the house and get ready and get set up because I'm running a little behind. But folks, we're starting from a mistake here. Never, ever, ever park where you cannot get blocked in. I cannot tell you the amount of agents that have told me how scared they were when it was time to leave an open house. So here's what I want you to do. It's a 3-step process. Number 1, when you pull in front of the house, before you exit your car, I would love for you just to sit in your car while it's still running, your seatbelt's still on, the AC is still blowing, and take a minute and look around. See what you see. Take a look towards the front door. Can you clearly see the front door? Are there trees or shrubbery within 10 feet of your car that can give somebody a hiding place? Then as you exit your car, and before you close the door, just give me 5 seconds here. And while you're still standing in the doorway of your car, look around and survey your surroundings. Take a look at what you see. Then I want you to do a big one. I want you to walk up to the front door of the house and then turn and walk back. What do you notice? Are there places where somebody could surprise you? You know, I conducted a survey over 1,500 agents on open house safety, and the number one concern they had was walking back to their car after an open house. So by just taking 3 minutes to make sure you're parked where you cannot get blocked in, you have a clear line of sight to your vehicle, it can drastically reduce the fear and anxiety you face as you go through setting up for your open house. Tip number 2, meeting the neighbors. You know, meeting the neighbors can always be kind of fun because you always run into some truly interesting folks. But, you know, let's just say, let me ask you a quick question here. Who are the first people to show up at your open house? Right, it's the neighbors. Everybody wants to see what color the kitchen is, what type of flooring you put down, how big is the great room, how they decorate the house, and most importantly, how much is it? Because every neighbor wants it to go for the highest price to raise their property values. Now, if you notice in this picture when we're meeting the neighbors, there are 2 folks, and I can hear you already. Andrew, nobody wants to sit in an open house with me for 3 or 4 hours. Well, here's what we're going to do. Today in tip number 4, yes, I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to give you the secret to not only how to get a list of folks who will volunteer to work in an open house, but guess what? How they will come and sign up, and you will end up with a sign-up list of folks begging to work your open house with you. Who are these folks? You're going to have to wait till we get to tip number 4. But I can tell you this, the most successful agents have told me one of the greatest keys to selling is their referrals. And the referrals come from, guess who? Meeting the neighbors. And here's what I want you to do when you meet the neighbors. I want you to KWK them. That's right. I want you to kill them with kindness. Because killing them with kindness, everybody wants to meet that nice person. Here's what you say. You walk up, you knock on the door, you have in your hand your flyer, your marketing piece, and you say, hello, my name is Andrew Wooten, and today I'm going to be showing the house right next door. That's my white Envoy parked right out in front. The house opens up at 9 o'clock, and I just wanted to know, if you can, I would love for you to stop by, and I'll be happy to give you a guided tour. Here's a flyer on the home, and I hope I see you later. Have a great day. That's it. That's what agents tell me. Now, here's what ends up happening. You're going to always have that one neighbor who's going to stop by and talk your living ear off and tell you more about that neighborhood than you ever wanted to know. But that's okay, because what did our mothers say? There's safeties in numbers. There's safety in numbers. Meeting the neighbors does a great deal more, but the number one thing it will do is it will drive people to the home, and it will give you a great source of referrals. Number 3, advising the clients about valuables. You know, the best way I can describe this is simply this: horror stories. That's the best description I can give you. Horror stories. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you instructed your clients to put away the extra set of house keys, to put away the mail, the jewelry, the prescription drugs, only to enter the kitchen and see that the homeowners left, before they left the house, they went to the mailbox and sitting on the counter is the mail. Or enter the bedroom and see that extra set of keys on the dresser. Or even worse, to show that master bathroom. Now, we all know better. You know, our mothers taught us better. But what is the natural thing people do when they walk into somebody's bathroom? They open the drawers. They look in the medicine cabinet. And telling folks not to do it is like telling a kid not to open the candy jar. So what we really have to do is work with our clients. We really need to tell them, hey, I need you to lock up your valuables, put away your prescription medicine. But let's have an honest conversation, folks. Do our clients listen to us? No, they don't. So here's what I need you to do. If you are showing that house to prospective clients at 10 a.m., I need you to be out to the house at 9 a.m. and meet with the current homeowners of that house and do a walkthrough with those clients and point out all the things they need to secure. You know, I can't tell you the amount of lawsuits I saw last year with clients suing the agents because of theft. So here's what we got to do, folks. We have to handhold our clients and let them know, here are the items that need to be put away. You know, everybody has that small office, that small bedroom that gets used as an office. And let them know bank statements, tax returns, credit card statements are the #1 thing stolen from homes. I know we reassure them that we will keep a close eye on prospective clients, but what really happens? The husband goes in one direction, the wife goes in another. And you have to be trying to keep an eye out on both. So prior preparation is the key. You know, make sure you develop a list that you can share with your clients of things that you need them to lock away and get there early. Folks, let me ask you a question. What is our business really built off of? Is it really truly built off one word? And I believe that word is integrity. What is your name? What is your reputation worth to you? Taking the time to advise your clients on safety, especially in today's litigious world, just makes sense. You know, many of you have been to some of my seminars, you've heard me in class, and you know my foundation for safety is what? Awareness. Being aware. Being aware of what's going on just makes sense. So let's do a quick review. We've done the basics. We've parked where we can't get blocked in. We've introduced ourselves to neighbors. And now it's time to get in the house. Lock boxes. Have you ever opened up one on the first attempt? No, they all take time. Which brings us to the #1 dangerous place during an open house. And that is the front door. As you're using your technology to open the lock, do you really know what's going on behind you? Remember I said the #1 place that agents are attacked during an open house is the front door. Now, the #1 tip I can share with you, and I can't emphasize the importance of this enough, of working in teams. And the question you asked of who is going to work with you, here's your answer. It's your affiliates. It's your affiliates. Here's what I would love for you to do. Take a look at the affiliate list at your association. There are title people, home inspectors, lending institutions, insurance company, and they all want one thing. They all want your potential clients. So this is the way that you're going to be opening up the front door. You're going to have your title company person there. You're going to have your home inspector there. You're going to have somebody from your listing institution. Not only will they jump at the opportunity, they will bring goodies and giveaways. Now, you ask, how does this relate to safety? And I say to you again, what did our mothers say? There's safety in numbers. By having someone with you when you meet the neighbors, open the door, and being present during the open house can drastically reduce the opportunities of victimization. You know, in these last few years, as I've interviewed men and women in prisons that have attacked, robbed, and committed some of the most heinous crimes The statement they all make is, Andrew, if I walk into a house and there's an agent there by themselves, I got them. I got them. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. If there's one person working at open house, I got them. Folks, we're going to have to use our resources. You know, I'm getting feedback from agents that are now telling me, you know, Andrew, since I went to my affiliate list, I have a sign-up list of folks that are signing up for me. But there's always the time that you may be by yourself. And in this case, what I would ask you to do, at least turn so your back is against the wall, and while you're opening up the lockbox, you can at least see if somebody is coming towards you. The number one place for victimization is the front door. All right, now we've entered the home. It's time to establish our emergency routes. The first thing I need you to do is to take a few minutes and establish how are you going to get out of the house. What is your emergency route? Is there a fence? Is there a privacy fence? Does it have a lock? Then what I'd love for you to do is to walk over to it and unlock it, so therefore if you need to exit quickly, you can. The garage door can be another excellent exit route. What I'd love for you to do is open the garage door, place signage on the door, on the connecting door, telling clients to use the front door. Then all I want you to do is to lock the door back, because in case of emergency, if you have to leave in a hurry, all you have to do is open that door and run out. But clients will not be able to enter in that direction. You know, setting up for safety, it's a simple process. It really is. It just takes about 15 to 20 minutes to be able to knock all these processes out. Now, you may say, Andrew, these are pretty decent tips you've given me so far. But you know, one of my questions is, what's the first thing I should do? Once I enter the house, I've done my emergency route, what's really next? And here it is, decorative bells. Bells, you say? Okay, let me explain. You're talking with clients in the kitchen, and you're having a good conversation with these prospective clients, and when they leave, you walk around the corner and are surprised by the number of people that have entered the home without your knowledge. So here's what I want you to do. Go to the craft store, buy some decorative bells, hang on behind every door that you have unlocked that opens to the outside. Therefore, at least when somebody enters or leaves, at least you're aware that you have company. Now comes the exciting time. You parked correctly, you met the neighbors, you made your emergency exits, you hung your bells, so now it's time for folks to arrive. Oh boy, exciting, isn't it? Okay, let's tell the truth. Really, it's like watching paint dry. Boring. So what do? We fire up our computer, we log on to someone's unsecure wireless account, you check your email, your bank balance. After that, you read the book you brought, and what happens next? You fall sound asleep. Now, I know that agents have fallen asleep during an open house, but what surprises me the most is the number of agents that admitted to falling asleep. Again, this is why you need to have someone with you. And let's talk for a minute about the material you should bring into an open house. Your laptop. Folks, that's a big, big no-no. That's a huge no-no. Because if you have to run out of that house, is that something you can grab and run quickly? And also, logging into someone's unsecured wireless account. Now, I know this is not my cyber safety and social media program, but let me just simply say this. When you log into free Wi-Fi, when you go to any of our coffee houses or bakeries, and you sit down and you're using free Wi-Fi, when you log in, what's the warning message that pops up? What's that little box you see? It says what? The information you're viewing can be viewed by others. So folks, everything on your computer is now open for everyone to see. And you know what? When you log into your bank account and confirm your site key, I can just tell you what criminals say. When you use an unsecured Wi-Fi, what criminals say is simply this: thank you. Purses. Now, okay, I know we've heard this for years. Purses go in the trunk of the car. But here's my real question for you, ladies, regarding your purse. When do you put it in your car? I cannot tell you how many times I have watched agents pull up to a home, open their trunk, place their purse in the trunk, and then look around like, did anybody see me? Folks, purses go in the trunk before you leave your house. Carry with you just what you need. And one of the questions is, where do you sit during an open house? When we look at this picture here, it really looks like she's chosen a great spot. She can see folks coming up the walkway. She has chairs for folks to sit in and chat with her. But is this really a good spot with her? Here's my first question. What's her escape route? How can she get out? Now, the same goes for her in the kitchen. Again, she has great visibility, but she's trapped in the corner. She has her marketing materials, but guess what? She can't get out. There are two main keys for safety when picking your spot for an open house. The number one is, what room do you have cell service in? Now, as you're walking around the house, looking at your bars, which room do you have the most amount of bars? If you have to call somebody, if you need to dial 911, what numbers do you have programmed in to your phone? One of the things I would love for you to do is look at the resources you have available to you. One of the big resources, as Tony mentioned earlier, is realtor.org/safety. Another good resource is justbesafe.com/resources. These are all free resources that are available to you, and you might be really, truly interested in what you find there. Now, you know, when we take a look at our phone and we see that we have good cell service, what room do we have it in? In this particular house, it was the front room, right by the front door. Now, this room turned out to be great for her because not only did she have great reception, but she could exit through the front door if she needed to. The back door is behind her. Remember, she's already unlocked the gate. Or she could go around the corner and exit through the garage. This is a great spot for her. Now, where do you sit during an open house? And how do you greet your guests? Are you one of those agents that's sitting in a chair, playing on your computer, and when folks walk in, you go, "Hi, thanks for coming. There's a sign-in sheet if you want to. There's some materials over there on the desk. Feel free to wander around. I'll be here all day. Glad to answer any questions." Is that you? Folks, if that's you, let me tell you this. Criminals love you. They tell me they target the agent that is cavalier in their attitude. They tell me they like the agent that really doesn't care, that really doesn't want to be there. Here's what I need you to do. Take a look at this picture here. As soon as the potential client walks in, she jumps up. She introduces herself. She hands out some marketing material. And then the next thing she does is she directs them over to the sign-in sheet. Folks, this is your time to do what I call the checkup from the neck up. This is your time to take a look at this person and go, am I comfortable with this person? Is this somebody I want to be in the house with? Is this somebody who I feel, and if not, then enlist your support team. Make sure there's others around you as you're working with this person. Is this person giving you the heebie-jeebies? Remember earlier I asked a question when we first started this presentation, and I asked, one, I wanted you to learn to use your most powerful weapon, and that's your gut intuition. The number one things that agents tell me after they've been attacked, after they've been through an occurrence, is simply this: Andrew, I knew something wasn't right beforehand. Folks, one of the things I want you to get is to listen to yourself, trust yourself, pay attention to you. And as we're going through this process of showing this house, here's what I can't have you do. Please, 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 never, ever, ever, ever turn your back on a client. This is just how quickly bad things can happen. Now she's trapped in the bedroom. I've grabbed her by her hair. She's in a world of trouble. You know, what do you do, ladies, when a gentleman says, oh no, ladies first? When that statement is uttered, what I want you to do is to KWK them. That's right. I want you to kill them with kindness. Here's what I want you to say. I want you to take a step back from them and look at them and go, you are such a gentleman. Thank you. But I really want you to see this new home. And if I can direct you where to go, I think you'll gain a further appreciation of this home. Now, the kids' room is down this hallway to the left, and direct them down the hallway to the left. Turning your back on your client can have life-ending results. I call this the changing face of crime because we are so much more trusting of women than we are men. But here's the interesting stats. For the guys on this webinar, please, for a moment, don't say anything. If you're in a room with a room full of ladies, be quiet on this one. Ladies, who's more violent, men or women? When I ask this question in my seminars, everybody laughs, and all the ladies go, the women are. So just because you're showing a home to a lady, again, the same rules apply. You cannot turn your back on a client because bad things can happen. As you're showing your clients a home, here's what I need you to do. I need you to direct them. I need you to tell them where to go. Lead them. There's rooms you should not ever, ever, ever go into. You never go into a walk-in closet, a bathroom, a laundry room. Remember, you're a professional, and you should know every room of that house and be able to describe it. Walking into a bathroom is asking for disaster. Where's your escape routes? How do you get out of there? Our last tip, closing up. Opening and closings are the most dangerous times for an open house. Opening the door, going in the first time is the number one time. It's the number one place agents are victimized doing an open house. The second is the closing. You know, one of the things we talk about is during the course of a house, you're going to have a variety of people that are coming in and going out. As you're going through the house, during the course of it, what I would love to have you and the folks, your affiliates that you have with you do, is periodically check the locks, check the windows, check the back doors, make sure things have stayed locked, things are still secure. And when you're closing up, you always have to work in teams. Teamwork is key here. And here's the thing. Generally, when you're showing a house, most of the time there's another agent down the street showing a house as well. So what I would love for you to do is just lock your front door. Go down to the other agent and say, hey, listen, I'm locking up. Let me walk through your house with you. Then let's come on down and we'll walk through my house with me and we'll close up. Remember what we said. There's safety in numbers. Here's your bonus tip. It's my golden rule. And it is my true belief that you are your best weapon. Your mind, your voice, your body. Listening and trusting your inner voice, it is without a doubt the best weapon you have. Before we open this up for questions, I just would like to share with you a simple picture. They say a picture says 1,000 words. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Tell me what matters most is how you see yourself. Questions? Okay. We have a question. Should we take another person when we're showing a property for safety reasons? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and yes, you should. Remember, there's safety in numbers. The bottom line, it really truly is, when I talk to these criminals, is simply this. Andrew, I chose that person because they were by themselves. I chose that person simply because I knew I could get them. They were in a big house by themselves, and I got them back into the laundry room. I got them back into the walk-in closet, and I knew I had them. Folks, listen to yourselves. Trust yourselves. Pay attention to you. I hope the information we've shared with you here today has been good. I hope the information we share with you today can help you. If there's anything we can do to provide any more assistance, any more information, please do not hesitate to view our website, justbesafe.com. If you go to justbesafe.com/resources, you'll find a ton of things there on open house safety. Or if you have questions for me that you didn't get a chance to answer, don't hesitate. Shoot me an email at andrew@justbesafe.com. We have one last question just popped in. It says, we have a super open house this weekend, over 600 homes and office meeting tomorrow. Is this information available for me to share? Yes, it is. It is available for you to share. You can go to realtor.org/safety, or you can contact me at Andrew@justbesafe.com, and I'll make sure you get all the material you need for your meeting tomorrow. Folks, go out there, have a wonderful day. I appreciate you taking the time, and remember, justbesafe.com.
Thanks again, Andrew, and thanks again, everybody, for participating in this safety webinar. And I know if you, again, have any other questions you'd like to share with Andrew, feel free to email either Andrew or our own safety email address here at safety@realtors.org. Also, be sure to keep an eye out for our next webinar, which will be happening in September. You can go to www.realtor.org/safety for more information. And again, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.